My parents missed my engagement party because my sister invited them to her kid's 5th birthday. Now they are mad after I refused to invite them to my wedding. I 32M never imagined I'd be in this situation. My fiancé and I had been planning our engagement party for months, excited to celebrate with family and friends. But when the big day arrived, 2 important seats remained empty. My parents. The morning of the party, I received a text from my mom. "Sorry, honey, we can't make it. Your sister's having a birthday party for little Timmy. Have fun." I stared at my phone in disbelief. They were skipping our engagement for a 5-year-old's birthday? I called my sister, hoping there was some misunderstanding. She answered cheerfully, oblivious to my growing anger. "Oh yeah, Mom and Dad are here helping set up. Timmy's so excited." "You scheduled his party on the same day as my engagement?" I asked, struggling to keep my voice steady. "What? Oh no, I totally forgot that was today," she gasped. "I'm so sorry, I didn't even think about it." But the damage was done. My fiancé found me slumped on the couch, still in shock. She held me as I explained through gritted teeth. "They're not coming. They chose a kid's birthday party over our engagement." She was furious on my behalf, but we pulled ourselves together. We had guests arriving soon and a celebration to host. The party went on, full of laughter and congratulations, but there was an undeniable void where my parents should have been. The next day, my phone lit up with missed calls and messages from my family. My parents left voicemails full of apologies and excuses. My sister sent a string of texts begging forgiveness. I ignored them all. Days turned into weeks. I threw myself into wedding planning, trying to push aside the hurt and betrayal. My fiancée supported me but gently suggested I talk to my family. "You don't want this hanging over our big day," she said. Finally, I agreed to meet my parents for coffee. They arrived looking contrite, my mom's eyes red from crying. "We're so sorry," she began. "We should never have missed your engagement. We just didn't think." "That's right, you didn't think," I cut her off. "You chose a child's birthday party over a once-in-a-lifetime event for your son. Do you have any idea how that felt?" My dad tried to explain. "Your sister was so insistent, and we thought since the wedding is still months away." "Stop," I held up a hand. "I don't want to hear it. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine. You're not invited to the wedding." The color drained from their faces. My mom reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Please," she whispered. "We made a terrible mistake, but don't punish us like this. We're your parents." "Parents who couldn't be bothered to show up for one of the most important days of my life," I replied coldly. "Why should I expect the wedding to be any different?" I left them sitting there, ignoring their pleas. Over the next few weeks, my phone exploded with messages from extended family. Everyone had an opinion on my overreaction. My sister called daily, alternating between apologies and anger at being blocked from the wedding too. My fiancé tried to mediate. "Are you sure about this?" she asked gently. "I know you're hurt, but do you really want to look back on our wedding day and not see your parents there?" I wavered, torn between my pain and the lifetime of memories we shared. But every time I considered relenting, the image of those empty chairs at our engagement party haunted me. The thought of them potentially ruining our wedding day with guilt trips or drama made my stomach churn. As the big day approached, the pressure intensified. Relatives threatened to boycott in solidarity with my parents. My sister showed up at our apartment unannounced, tearfully begging me to reconsider. Even my fiancé's family got involved, urging forgiveness and reconciliation. But I stood firm. The invitations went out, conspicuously missing my immediate family's names. I tried to focus on the joy of marrying the love of my life, but the family drama cast a long shadow. The night before the wedding, I lay awake, doubts gnawing at me. Was I being too harsh? Should I have given them another chance? But then I remembered the hurt in my fiancé's eyes when she realized my parents weren't coming to our engagement. I thought of all the times my sister's family had taken precedence. This was about more than just one missed event. It was years of feeling second best. Our wedding day dawned bright and clear. As I stood at the altar, watching my beautiful bride walk down the aisle, I felt a pang of sadness mixed with my joy. The seats where my parents should have been sat empty, a stark reminder of the choice I'd made. But as we exchanged vows and rings, surrounded by friends and loved ones who had chosen to be there, I knew I'd made the right decision. This day was about celebrating our love and commitment, not catering to those who couldn't prioritize us. At the reception, my new father-in-law pulled me aside. "I know this wasn't easy," he said, clapping me on the shoulder. "But you stood up for yourself and your marriage. That takes real strength." As the night wore on, filled with dancing and laughter, I found myself relaxing. Yes, there was still a hole where my family should have been. But looking around at the people who had shown up to support us, I realized we had created a new kind of family. One built on mutual respect and love. Later that night, as my wife and I swayed to our first dance, she whispered, "Are you okay? Any regrets?" I gazed into her eyes, feeling a sense of peace wash over me. "No regrets," I replied. "This is exactly where I'm meant to be." In the weeks that followed, I received a letter from my parents. They expressed deep remorse for their actions and the pain they'd caused. They acknowledged their pattern of prioritizing my sister's family and promised to do better. While it didn't erase the hurt, it was a start. I'm not sure what the future holds for my relationship with my family. There's a lot of healing and rebuilding to be done. But I know that by standing up for myself and my marriage, I've set a precedent for how I expect to be treated. It wasn't an easy choice, but sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that shape our lives for the better. As I look ahead to building a life with my wife, I'm grateful for the lessons this experience taught me about setting boundaries, prioritizing what truly matters, and surrounding ourselves with people who value us. Our wedding may not have been the perfect family affair I once imagined, but it was a beautiful celebration of love, commitment, and the family we choose to create.